So now we're going to learn the solo. This is in D, and I'm going to use the wah-wah, just like Slash did. So here's the first part of the solo. So this solo starts off with a whole step bend from the 13th fret of the B string, and then we'll grab 10 on the high E string. Followed by 10 B. Once again, bend 13 on the B up a whole step, grab 10 on the high E. Once again, 10 on the B, bend up a whole step from 13 on the B, grab 10 on the high E. Back to 10 B. This time, move up to 15 on the B, bend up a whole step, and then grab 12 on the high E string. Now we're going to bend up a whole step from 15 on the B, and then bend up a step and a half from 15 on the B, and strike that 4 times, releasing the bend, pulling off to the 13th fret. Now down to 14 on the G, 13, 15 on the B, 13 on the B. Now I'm going to take the 15th fret of the high E string, bend up a whole step, release the bend back up, release the bend, strike the note, bend up once again. So it sounds like this. Now come back down, play 15, 14, 15 on the high E string. Back to 14, bend up a half step, and then play 14, 12. Now pull off 14, 12, 15 B, 12 high E, 13, 15 B, hammer on and pull off 12, 13, 12 on the B, 14 on the G, 12 on the B, hammer on 13, 14 on the G string, 12 on the B string, 14 slide back to 12 on the G, pulling off to 10, 12 D, 12 G, 12 D, followed by 10 on the G string. Here's the lick all together. All right, let's move on. Here's the next part of the solo. Okay, so there's a lot of riffing from the D blues scale. For this next idea, we're going to bend up a whole step from the 12th fret of the G string and then grab 10 on the high E string. Now 10, 13 on the B string, but we're going to bend up a whole step when we get to the 13th fret and grab 10 on the high E string. Followed by 13, pull off to 10 on the B string. So that little lick sounds like this. For the next idea, we're going to bend up a whole step from the 12th fret of the G string, release that bend, then back up a whole step and play 10 to 13 on the B string. Now that idea where we play 12 on the G string, bend up, and grab 10 to 13 on the B string, those 3 notes are played 11 times. Followed by a similar idea, bend up a whole step from 12 on the G, 10, 13, 10 on the B string. Similar idea, but we're going to develop it a little further. Bend up a whole step from 12 on the G, 10, 13, 10, 13, 10 on the B string. Followed by a whole step bend from the 12th fret of the G string, 10, 13, 10 on the B. Now we're going to have a repetitive lick, goes like this. That's a total of 8 notes that we're going to play 4 times. So I'm going to bend up a whole step from the 12th fret of the G string, grab 10 on the high E, followed by 13-10 on the B. That'll be a pull-off. Next 4 notes, bend up a whole step from 13 on the B, grab 10 on the high E, 13-10 on the B. So here are those 8 notes. And we play that 4 times. And that'll take us to the end of this piece of the solo. So let's go back and review once again. Okay, now we're up to the last piece of the solo. I'll play through it and then we'll break it down. So we start off with this classic phrase, bend up a whole step from the 12th fret of the G string, grab 10 on the high E, followed by 13-10 on the B string. Now we're going to bend up from the 13th fret of the high E string. We'll bend up a whole step 2 times, and then we'll bend up a half step once. Okay, moving onwards, we're going to start off on the 10th fret of the high E string, followed by 13-10 on the B. That'll be a pull-off. Bend up from the 13th fret of the B string, up a whole step, grab 10 on the high E, 13-10 on the B. That's a pull-off. Now bend up a whole step from 12 on the G, release the bend, pull off to 10, 12D, back to 10 on the G, 12-10 on the D string. Write down the blues scale now, 12, 11, 10, back to 8 on the A string. That'll be a slide there from 10 to 8. And the final 3 notes, 10 to 8 on the A string, and up to 12 on the D string. So once again, here's that whole final phrase that we've just gone over. Well, what do you say? Should we try piecing all of that craziness together? Why not? Let's give it a shot. So here's the solo all the way through. So coming out of the solo, we're then into the third verse. The third verse ends differently than the first 2 verses. And let me show you that phrase now. I'll play through it and then we'll learn it. Same idea, same chords played on the bottom 3 strings, starting off with the open strings, 10 to 12, open strings, 9 to 10, open strings, 7, open, 6, 7, open, 5, open, 3 to 4. So that's the last riff during the third verse, and it's also the last riff of the entire song. So let's take a look now at the outro, where Slash is going to be playing a single note phrase on top of that main riff. Sounds like this. So here we're going to start with a 2-measure phrase played 3 times. This is identical to what we learned during the intro of the song, but we're just going to add one extra note at the end. But let's just go through this from the beginning. 12th fret on the D string, 10, 11 G, 12 D, 9, 10 on the B string, 12 D, 13 on the B. So far we've done this. 12 D, 9, 10 on the B, 12 on the D, 12 on the G, back to 12 D. And the final two notes of this phrase, hammer on 10 to 11 on the G string. We're going to play that 3 times. And then for the final riff of the song, where the rhythm guitar is playing that new phrase that we've learned, Slash plays this. So here we're going to start 12th fret D string, 13 B, 10 on the high E, 12 on the D, 12, 13 B, 12 D, 10 on the B. So far we've done this. Back to 12 on the D, 9, 10 on the B, 12 on the D, 12 G, 12 D, hammer on 10 to 11 on the G, finally ending 12 on the D string. So here's that final riff. And with that, you now have all of the parts for Slither. Have some fun with it.